You ever have one of those moments where your phone lights up, you read a headline twice, and your brain just quietly goes, wait, what? Not shocked in a screaming way, not dramatic, just that slow, heavy pause where you know something serious has landed? That's exactly how a lot of Hollywood woke up to the news involving Rob Reiner. Because Rob Reiner isn't just another famous name. He's the guy behind movies people quote at weddings. He's the voice behind childhood favorites, comfort rewatches, and films that somehow feel like home even when you're watching them for the 100th time. So when reports started circulating that Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle Singer Reiner were found dead in their Los Angeles home, it didn't feel like gossip at first. It felt unreal. According to multiple reports, emergency services were called to the couple's Brent Reed residence after a medical emergency alert. When first responders arrived, both Rob Reiner and Michelle Singer Reiner were discovered deceased inside the home. Almost immediately, the tone shifted from concern to shock as law enforcement began treating the case as a possible homicide. And here's where the story gets complicated, heavy, and honestly, very Hollywood in the darkest way possible. Sources speaking to major outlets claim that investigators are questioning a family member in connection with the deaths. Those same sources allege that the couple's adult son is involved. To be clear, this part is still unfolding, and authorities have not publicly confirmed charges or arrests. But once that allegation surfaced, the internet did what it always does. It exploded. Within hours, timelines were flooded, group chats were buzzing. People weren't just asking what happened, they were asking how something like this could happen in a family that, from the outside, looked so solid, so established, so untouchable. Rob Reiner was 78. Michelle was 68. They had been married for decades, raising children, moving through Hollywood without the usual tabloid chaos. No constant scandals, no messy public feuds, just a long partnership that felt steady in an industry that rarely is. That's part of why this story hit so hard. There was no buildup, no warning signs splashed across headlines, just a sudden, brutal rupture. As the investigation unfolded, reports described the deaths as violent in nature, prompting the LAPD's Robbery-Homicide Division to step in. Police sealed off the neighborhood, media vans whined the street, and suddenly, a quiet Brentwood home became the center of a very public nightmare. Hollywood reactions were swift and somber. Industry figures expressed disbelief. Fans shared clips from The Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally, and Stand By Me. Moments of joy now colliding with a moment of loss. It's always strange how grief works in the public eye. People mourn someone they've never met, not because they knew them personally, but because their work sat beside them during important parts of their lives. And then there's the other layer of the story, the one people whisper about but don't always say out loud. Family tragedies like this don't fit neatly into headlines. They don't come with clean explanations or satisfying endings. And when allegations involve someone's own child, it forces everyone to sit with an uncomfortable truth. Fame doesn't insulate families from pain. Money doesn't block tragedy at the door. And success doesn't magically make everything safe. Some reports have pointed to past struggles within the family, including battles with addiction that had been discussed publicly years ago. Others urge caution, reminding everyone that investigations take time and early reports don't always tell the full story. Both things can be true at once: concern and restraint, shock and patience. And yes, there is something surreal about seeing such a heavy story bounce around social media next to memes and makeup tutorials. That's not disrespect, that's just the internet being the internet. Tragedy doesn't pause the algorithm. But what does matter is remembering that behind every headline are real people, real grief, and a family now navigating something unimaginably painful in full public view. Rob Reiner spent his life making people laugh, cry, and believe in happy endings. The irony that his own story would end up wrapped in such darkness isn't lost on anyone. And while the investigation continues, the only honest thing anyone can say right now is this: the situation is tragic, unresolved, and deeply unsettling. As more official information comes out, clarity will replace speculation. But for now, Hollywood is left sitting in that uncomfortable in-between space where questions hang in the air and answers haven't caught up yet. We'll continue following the story carefully, responsibly, and with respect for everyone involved. If you want updates as they happen, context without the noise, and real conversations about what's actually going on behind the headlines, you're in the right place. Subscribe to Starscope, and we'll see you in the next one.